Listeners.
Book babes and book bros.
Welcome to Book Babble. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tanya, and we're the Witlet Women. But we have two special guests for you today. The first one is Sierra. Sierra, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sierra. I'm Book Lover Bunny on Instagram.
She is one of my book besties, and she's here to help us host. And then we also have AA Dark with us. Do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm AA Dark, also Alaska.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about your books really quickly?
I write very dark books. A lot of trauma in them, but that is for me. I actually write to work through my own past and my own trauma. Yeah, they come with a lot of trigger warnings, but I have got lots of messages that they do help people. So that's something that I really love.
Awesome. Well, we are so happy to have you both on today. And we can jump right into our AMA. Are you all ready to babble?
I'm ready.
All right, I'll put 5 minutes on the clock.
Okay, so I know we have a bunch of questions that we've thought of, but the first one I almost always ask is, what kind of motivated you to start writing? So I know you said you did this to kind of start healing, but is there, what really got you going?
I used to be a big reader and I would read like I'm big into historical romance. I love historical romance. I've been reading it since I was like a teen. And I was a big reader. I was in a very abusive marriage for a very long time. And he would get so angry about how much I would read. And one day, I had gotten home from work. I'd been working a lot. I actually worked at the Walmart little infant section doing all that. And I was reading and he walked in having a really bad day and he was like, "Why don't you just write a book?" And da da da. And I was like, "You know what? I think I will." And I sat down and I wrote my first book. It took me 3 weeks and I wrote a novel in 3 weeks. I was so determined because I was so angry. But yeah, I didn't ever think I could. And him doing that actually empowered me. And it kind of changed something in me in that moment. And when I wrote the end, there was no going back. I knew it was what I was supposed to do.
My gosh. So you do a lot of, you write a lot of morally ambiguous and evil characters.
I
What
do.
is the psychological process for developing them?
Truthfully, when I write, I start with an idea and one sentence, the first sentence, and a mindset. I will get into the character's mindset. I will kind of feel them out, see their interest, who they are, and I'll sit with that for weeks. I will kind of just analyze them and go through how they would like live their lives and who they are. And when I actually start, I usually go through a process where I'll start shaking really bad and I'll kind of feel nervous and like nauseous almost, and I'll pace. And then when I finally sit down, it's like with the first sentence, it all just unfolds. So it's like, it's really crazy. As I'm writing, like when the reader reads it and you hit like this big moment, you're like, oh my gosh, I have that same moment when I write because I don't plan anything. I just see what happens and I let it unfold as naturally as it is. And I don't fight it, no matter what it is, which is also very hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, my
Yeah.
question is, what aspect of the human darkness intrigued you the most? Like, because most of your books are pretty dark. I
Yeah.
just want to know, like, what intrigued you?
I think with me, with writing it as therapy, I try to understand why people do the bad things that they do. It's a psychological standpoint. Like, who would you have to be, or how broken would you have to be to actually turn bad like that and do the things that you do? And when I run into 24/690 and I started meeting all these different masters, and like you see like, okay, does past have something to do with it? Does, something that they've been through, are they just evil like that? Like some are. So I think it's just kind of more me trying to understand and just go through different mindsets to really kind of just see for myself.
All right.
That answered it.
I love it.
Okay, great.
What is your favorite book that you've written so far?
Oh, that is hard. 24/690, with it being my first, that was a whole process. I I knew about that book and I really kind of let it be in my mind for 2 years before I ever started writing it. I kind of I would keep going back to it and I knew I couldn't escape it at that point. I was writing dark romance. And I noticed my books were getting darker and darker and darker. And I was really kind of going through an extremely hard time for me. So when I got to 24,690, I think it really kind of freed parts of me that I hadn't been able to ever do. And with as dark it is, I mean, we're tapping into like really heavy trauma-filled stuff. So I think that will always hold a part of me in there so much because it's just so revealing in ways and yet healing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I specifically read 24,690. That was the first book I read by you, and you can tell, like, you really put a lot of thought into it, and it was something that healed you. So, um, okay, we have 8 seconds left, so I'm just gonna run out the clock because I don't think I can ask a question that quickly. Um, so thank you. You made it through our AMA round. We'll put the 5 minutes on our social channels like Instagram and TikTok, and then the full interview is going to go on Spotify and YouTube. So we're just going to keep chatting.
Okay.
So one thing that I did not get to ask, and well, that we did not get to ask, is what is your favorite thing about being a CEO and president of Mad Girl Publishing?
Well, that's hard. I have such big dreams, and my husband is actually retiring from the Coast Guard in, oh man, in October, but he actually gets out at the end of July. And we have so many big plans for this, and I've been waiting years for this moment, like to really kind of embrace. I've been working with a lawyer. I mean, I'm like ready to get this publishing company going because I feel like responsibly, I can do that with building my 3 tiers of darkness. I mean, I have levels. Readers know that when they're going into my brand, what they're getting. They know the triggers in there. They know how dark it's going to be. And if I can help other authors, even new ones, and that's a huge thing with me, if I can help people that are just starting to write, because I had no help. So it's all been a learning experience the last 15 years. If I can help them and we can kind of weave them into the system to where readers can feel like comfortable and confident in what they're getting, then that's really everything. That is the reason why I made that tier system was for the trigger warnings because I did not want somebody coming into my books and not knowing what they were getting into because they hold such dark content.
Yeah, and you actually kind of coined the term pitch black when it came to
Yeah.
genres, right?
I
Like,
did. Yeah, 2016 is when I started using it. It was not used by anybody. And I used it in actually a promo, Exceed the Dark, which was the dark romance I was writing at the time, step into pitch black. Because I knew I didn't want my romance readers, because I wrote dark romance at the time, I did not want them going into it without knowing this was way beyond at the time what was considered dark romance. So it was just a like a responsibility thing. Like I really felt I needed to protect them from that.
that's amazing. I love that you've taken on that and shouldered that responsibility. That's wow.
Yeah.
Sierra, I know that you had some things that you wanted to talk about. Any other questions that you had?
I just want to know your thought process on 24, 60, 90. Like, I was like blown away by it.
Yeah, that book, it actually came to me on the road trip since my husband was in the Coast Guard. We were getting stationed from Connecticut to California. So we had a whole cross country trip to do. And when I got into Wyoming, it was so just open. And I kept thinking like and it kept repeating like what could happen? Like anything could happen here. Like this is so just broad and expanse and like there's nothing here but mountain. And when I kind of sat on that and I started thinking like because I'm always thinking like about bad people. It's just a trauma within me. I kind of think the different personalities and I'm always questioning like why? Like why do people get to that point or why do they do those things? So yeah, I think I just kind of sat with that for a while. And that is my biggest thing. With me, I do not hide the fact that I suffer from borderline personality disorder. It is a product of the trauma that I underwent for years upon years, starting at 13. So I don't know. I really kind of try to question everything. Like why? That's always on my mind. So yeah, I don't know.
The
It just
ending of
helps
that
with
book,
writing.
the ending of that book had me shook.
Yes, yes. I think that was my favorite part of that book was the very ending of 24,690, that poem. When that poem came to me and I was writing it, I did it in one sitting. It flowed so smoothly and so beautifully. And when I finished it, I just kind of sat there and I think I even had tears in my eyes and I thought, wow, here we go. Like this is big. Like this is a big moment. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's the perfect ending. Yeah. It
It
was
was
just
so good.
great.
It was so incredibly powerful. Like the
Yeah.
entire book was so dark and like, for lack of a better term, disturbing. But like once you
Yes.
got through it and you saw all of the different perspectives and everything that went down, it really was very powerful. And you're just like, whoa. You finish it and you just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
Exactly like
Yeah.
what you said. I remember we were buddy reading it, Sierra and I were with a couple of our friends, and I was just like, guys, read this. Like you have to finish it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so good.
Um,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love it. I live in that world forever. I will forever live in that world. I love it.
yeah, so will you continue to write in that universe?
Yes, actually, it's crazy. I just finished The Devil of Hollywood. I have it with betas. Now, this is part of my In Another Life series. It's kind of like the adult choose your own adventure. I have Seeking Stalker, which is my book one. So we have two versions. One is dark romance, which I write under Alaska Angelini, and then one is a dark universe. So it's all pitch black plus, or static white or oblivion plus. This newest one's probably going to be Oblivion. It is so super dark, but it takes place in the Order of the Unavowed, which is London's Whitlock. So we have a whole new universe opening up, and this one kind of touches down on it. This is not the Unavowed. That's what he's called, the Unavowed. That is not this is not his book. This is one of the, well, you meet him in the Garden of the Gods, Drayton Pennington. This is his book and Marion LaRoe's book. But we touch down on that because it takes place there. So we get like a little taste of what's happening. But that will be my next series after I finish the books I'm currently working
So how do we get on
Wow.
your ARC team?
on. Hey, well, my PAD, um, she has all the forms, whether it's ARC, beta, anything. If you contact her, she will give you that form. And yeah, we're always looking for new people
I
for
want one.
sure.
I will get that form for you, Sierra. I will help you find it.
Thanks.
Okay, so oh, I actually did want to ask one other thing. Actually, this came from Sierra herself. What would your girl dinner look like, Alaska?
With the fictional characters, oh my goodness. Definitely, definitely Everly and Monroe. And I think Elaine. Elaine is slept on a lot. I think we meet her in Blackout in the 24,690 series. She is the I'm not gonna go too much into it. She helps Everly. And she's actually gonna be a part of another series that I'm gonna be working on soon too. So yeah, those three women, like they literally have my heart. So we'll meet a lot more of Elaine soon enough.
Are you excited, Sierra?
I'm ecstatic.
Well, we're just about at the end of the episode. Right now, we typically open up the floor to you, Alaska. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about or tell your readers about before we end the call?
Um, if you've already read my books, all I ask is listen to the audiobooks. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is something new that I've been getting into. 24,690 was signed with Simon Maverick, which is Simon and Schuster's audio department. And I think that they're doing a fantastic job with Troy Duran and Calamity Jane. Like they're working together and just getting to experience this and hear it coming in, and especially like the first is in dual point of view, but I of course I didn't know at the time I was learning, but the duet, oh my gosh, listening to it in duet form is just amazing. So yeah, audiobooks, the worlds are dark, but I promise they're like, they're so good. I love this world, so I hope everybody else does too.
And so I've listened to quite a few of Troy Duran's narrations. He's really good. So like
Yeah.
pick it up, guys.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are just about at time. Sierra, any last words from you? Because I know that you were very excited to be here.
Oh, I'm just ecstatic to be here.
It was very
Bad
nice
girl's a
meeting
little hard
you.
over here.
Well, I had so much fun. I know everyone else did. Alaska, we will probably reach out to talk to you again soon. But thank you for
Absolutely.
joining us today, and y'all have a good one.
You too. Thank you. It's nice meeting you
Bye,
all.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.